Hi! So I thought it would be helpful to go through Surya Namaskar really slowly. Surya Namaskar, or Sun Salutation in Sanskrit, is often how we start a class, and it's a series or sequence of postures, each with one inhale or an exhale. So it might be that we inhale the arms up and then exhale, forward fold. And that means that we can move through the sequence quite quickly and often missing quite a lot of alignment. So I'm going to take you through it really slowly, giving you as much detail as I can, and then we'll move through a little bit faster and we can practice it all together. You can pause the video at any point, and yeah, I hope you enjoy. So we're going to start actually in downward facing dog. So come to tabletop position and place the wrists underneath the shoulders and the knees underneath the hip points. Press the top of the feet into the ground. Press the ground away with the hands. And then when we've found this tabletop position with the neck long, we're not crunching, no shoulders by the ears. Externally rotate the shoulders. We're going to tuck the toes and then push our hips down first and then up. And the reason we go down first is so that we're not lifting in the middle. We're pushing back to the heels and then following through with the the knees. And then we're going to gaze between the feet and start to pedal it out. So take some really nice movement through the left and the right side of the body here, just stretching it out. It looks like I've got a cat, the amount of hairs on this mat. I did just wipe it, I promise. Anyway, so externally rotate the shoulders. Now, if you want to take a quick look at the video, what I mean by that is a lot of the time in downward facing dog, we can have our shoulder blades squeezing and pinching, and it's really uncomfortable for the neck. So what you want to do there is externally rotate the shoulders so they're going around and wrapping under the armpits and up the back. And that's downward facing dog. You can start to reach the heels back, but don't worry if they don't reach the mat. Really, the main aim of the game is to get the sitting bones up to the sky, lengthening through the spine. Crown of the head is an extension of that spine. And then we're going to move slowly, one step at a time, keeping the knees really soft and bent until we reach finally the top of the mat, framing the feet with our hands. And we're now in our forward fold, Uttanasana. So you can let go of the arms, you might even grasp the elbows here, and just really sway the weight of your body between left and right. You might want to rock gently forward and back. We're just waking up the body a little bit before we jump into Surya Namaskar. Feeling the lengthening along the back of the hamstrings in particular. Okay, exhale. Let's release any last bits of tension as we drop the elbows. Release the hands down towards the mat, however far they get. And then we're going to slowly roll up through the spine, vertebra by vertebra, until we come to a standing position. And we're going to relax the palms down, facing forward. And we're in our first standing posture now of Surya Namaskar. So that's mountain pose. So bring the big toes together, the heels a couple of inches apart, and the palms are facing forward in line with the hips. You might want to reach down gently, which will start to activate you through the chest, the upper chest, the sternum, collarbones. And then as you inhale, relax the belly. As you exhale, soften the shoulder blades down the back, and then you can start to lengthen the tailbone down. So we're not stuck out like this, we're tucked, lengthened, Always trying to keep this long spine in mind. Okay, and then look down at your feet and then lift all of your toes off the ground and then spread them down one by one. And we can start to feel our weight through the front and the back. And start to position yourself over your feet so that you're centered between front and back and left and right. You might want to close the eyes down here, softening the gaze. I like to set an intention at this point. What would I like to carry through the practice with me? That's just optional. That's totally optional. And we're going to move through the poses now. So you can say to yourself in your head, if you want to go the real deal, Om Rabye Namaha. Inhale, sweep the arms up. And then as you reach the top of your inhale, with the shoulders away from the ears, giving yourself a load of space between the ears and the shoulders, we're going to start to fold on an exhale, reaching forward with the hands. And you'll start to feel it through the back of the legs. And we're going to drop the hands down towards the ground. If they come onto the ground, that's great. You can place the thumbs next to the little toes. But you can really take a generous bend in the knees here. If you want to bring the hands all the way down to the ground, place your thumbs next to your little toes so that your toes and fingers are in one line. And marvel at that, because it's probably not often that you've seen your hands and your feet together. But what you can do here is start to lift the sitting bones up towards the sky, even keeping the belly really generously bent over, draped over the thighs. So we're going to start to switch on, lifting the sitting bones up, relaxing the crown of the head down. We're not crunching in the neck. You can shake the head yes or no. And just feel it out in this position. So start to feel what it feels like to squeeze the glutes maybe to help you lift, gain a bit more height with the sitting bones. If you're finding this really difficult, you can just relax the hands down, and rather than trying to bring the belly to the thighs, you can just bend, releasing wherever you are, as long as it's comfortable for your lower back. If you keep the knees bent, you'll always protect the lower back. So that was an exhale. So our next move, we're going to inhale, lifting the right foot and taking as big a step back as you can with the right foot. On an inhale, we're going to lower the right knee, untuck the back toes, make sure that our foot is in line with the hand still, the front foot, and that our knee is underneath our ankle. And this is a good time to bring a block or a book in, because we're trying to get our hips down, 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 down towards the mat as we look up. Gazing point, or your drishti, is up so that the spine is one nice long sweeping line, and eventually we'll get the fingertips onto the ground. And here we're trying to square the hips as much as we can. So rather than splaying out left or right, start to imagine that your hips are drawing into a kind of center point in the body, or a midline, and they're squeezing in, and you can start to squeeze the glutes as well. That will also help to protect the lower back. So looking up here, saluting the sun, a nice long line from the top of the crown to the end of the outstretched back foot. And then we're going to lift the back knee, plant the palms, and then exhale, take a step back to high plank. So both feet at the back of the mat, pressing the ground away with the palms of the hands. And then we're going to inhale, lower the knees exactly where they are, and lock the hips in now. As we exhale, directly bring the chest down between the hands, pointing the elbows back, so not out, but back towards the bottom of the mat. The chest will lower on an exhale, and then we're going to bring the chin down, and this is Ashtanga Namaskar, so 8 angle, Ashta being 8 and Anga meaning angle. And if you look, or you feel, or you count, we've got 8 parts of our body touching the mat now. You can touch the forehead down, but that's quite tricky, so let's go with the chin. So 2 feet, 2 knees, 2 hands, the chest and the chin, and that was your exhale. And your elbows will be pointing back and up like grasshopper legs. So our next move, we're going to inhale, which is going to help us to lower our hips down exactly where they come, which will propel the chest forward, untuck the back toes, press all of the weight of the back of your body into the ground. All the power comes from here. This is your baby cobra, Bhujangasana. So start to press the top of the feet as much as you can into the ground. Press the thighs into the ground, press the pubic bone, the glutes, press them all into the ground. And we're in baby cobra, and we're gazing over the top of the mat to make sure that our neck is long and not crunched. Shoulders are away from the ears, elbows reaching back, shoulder blades reaching back. And test yourself by taking the hands away from the mat. Woo! See if your upper body stays there, and it should, because all of this power is coming from the lower body. And the next movement is an exhale. So exhale, tuck the toes, press yourself up to a high plank, and then straight back to a down dog, downward facing dog, Ardha Mukta Savasana. Again, externally rotate the shoulders, look between the feet, keep the neck long and relaxed. Push the ground away with all of your fingers and thumbs, reaching up with the sitting bones to the sky and down with the heels. But again, keep as much of a bend as you need to keep that spine straight and long. Spine is the most important thing. It's an energetic superhighway. On your next inhale, look between the hands, and we're going to step it forward again with the left foot. So step it forward and up between the palms of the hands. And that can feel like quite a lot. So if you can only sort of get halfway, take yourself halfway, lower the back knee, and then help your foot forward. And then we'll come back into our low lunge again, Anjaneyasana. Again, you can take the blocks here to help with the alignment. You might have them on this vertical setting or horizontal setting, but use them or a hardback book, whatever you can get your hands on, to get that alignment of the ankle underneath the knee. And the hips are reaching forward and down, really releasing down here. Oh, that feels amazing. Okay, so we're nearly done on this side. We're gonna next exhale, lift the back knee and bring the back leg to meet the front. As you forward fold again on an exhale. Again, knees can be bent, you can reach down to outside the toes or in front of you. Just releasing the top, the torso down. And then we're going to inhale, sweep the arms all the way up to the top. And then as we exhale, we're going to float the arms all the way down again. And we're going to do the other side. So let's do that a bit faster. So this is an exhale, forward fold. Lifting the sitting bones as you drape the body over the thighs or relax the hands down towards the mat. Inhale, reach the left foot back as far as you can go this time. Lower the left knee, untuck the back toes. Inhale, start to bring your torso and your gaze up slightly up towards the sky. You can use the inside of the front elbow to squeeze that knee into the center. And if you look now at the video, you'll see the squeezing that front knee in will start to help you align your hips so that your hips are in line with the mat. That's an inhale. Shoulder blades reaching down and away from the ears. And then we're going to exhale, plant the palms, lift the back knee and step it back to a high plank. That was an exhale. And then inhale, lower the knees down. And then exhale, pointing the elbows back. We're going to lower ourselves down like a push-up with the chest between the hands and then chin on the ground on an exhale. And as soon as you finish your exhale and you start to inhale, lower the hips, untuck the back toes, Bhujangasana, baby cobra, squeezing all of the lower back body into the ground, pressing it all into the ground, lengthening the neck and the crown, the gaze is forward, we're not gazing down, lifting and lengthening, always seeing the neck as an extension of the spine, which it is. And then exhale, tuck the toes, lift the back legs, press yourself up to plank, and sitting bones go up towards the sky, downward facing dog. Spread the fingertips wide, the fingers wide, which includes the fingertips, and squeeze your sitting bones up towards the sky. And then you can start reaching down with the heels, gazing between the feet. Shoulders are spreading wide across the top, no pinching. Take a couple of rounds of breath here. And then as we next inhale, look between the palms. And then again, we're going to step it up, this time with the right foot. So if you can't get the whole way, then stop, lower, and lift your foot between the hands. And we come back to this low lunge on the other side. Inhaling the gaze forward and up. Vrishti is slightly up, or your gazing point. And again, start to square the hips down, squeezing the glutes as you lower the hips forward and down. Relaxing the shoulder blades away from the ears, crown of the head light and lifted, gazing slightly up. And then we exhale, plant the palms, step the back foot to meet the front, forward fold, Uttanasana, or Pada Gustanasana, I think it's called, if you get the hands down to the ground. That's the difference. Whichever way you are, relaxing the torso and lifting the sitting bones up. And then on our next inhale, we're going to sweep the arms all the way up to the sky. Meet the hands together at the top, and then exhale, bring them down through the midline as you bring the thumbs to meet the sternum in an Anjali Mudra. There we go. So that's one round of Surya Namaskar slowed down. And now if you're ready, we're going to practice it together with one breath for each movement. So standing at the top of the mat, big toes together, heels slightly apart. Start to focus the breath. Inhaling in through the nose, relaxing the elbows down, shoulder blades and elbows heavy. Inhaling in through the nose and out through the nose. You're ready, we'll go inhale, sweep the arms up. Reaching up with the hands, palms facing in. Exhale, sweep the hands down, forward fold. Thumbs or hands in line with the toes if the hands reach the ground. Inhale, take a big step back with the right foot, lower the right knee down, untuck the back toes. Inhale, bring the chest forward, gaze forward, look up. Exhale, tuck the back toes, lift the back leg, step it back to a high plank. Inhale, lower the knees. Exhale, lower the chest between the palms of the hands and the chin down, Ashtanga Namaskar, elbows pointing up like these grasshopper legs, bum sticking up in the air. Inhale, lower the hips, gaze forward, neck is long, back body strong. And then exhale, tuck the toes, lift the legs, push yourself back to downward facing dog. We'll take one round of breath here, inhaling through the nose, wrapping the shoulder blades away from each other, sitting bones squeezing up to the sky. And on your next inhale, look between the hands, take a step forward with that left foot, lower the right knee, untuck the back toes, inhaling the chest forward, gazing slightly up towards the tip of the nose. And then exhaling, bringing that back leg to meet the front, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up to the sky. Give yourself a slight back bend if you squeeze the glutes, and then exhale, folding all the way down. Inhale, left foot reaches back, left knee down. Swing the hips down, torso comes up. Exhale, plant the palms, lift the back leg, step it back to high plank, reaching back with the heels. Inhale, lower the knees. Exhale, lower the chest between the palms of the hands and the chin, Ashtanga Namaskar. Shoulder blades reaching back and away from the ears. Inhale, lower the hips, chest comes forward, untuck the back toes. And then exhale, tuck the toes, lift yourself up to a high plank and back to downward facing dog. We'll take another round of breath here, pressing your hips up and back towards the sky, gazing between the feet. And then we're going to inhale, look between the hands, take a step forward with the right foot, lower the left knee, untuck the back toes. Inhale. Exhale, tuck the back toes, lift the back leg meets the front leg, forward fold. Inhale, raise the arms up all the way to the sky. And exhale, bring the palms together, thumbs to sternum. And that is Surya Namaskar, or one of the variations of Surya Namaskar. So I hope that was helpful. I hope to see you soon.